That the LIS scheme, which is funded by the Rural and Community Affairs Department, is of course attempting to play catch-up on a 10-year spell of absolutely no investment in the LIS scheme. That, as you can imagine, rural communities like my own and constituencies like Cavan, Monaghan are hugely dependent on this, particularly for the farming sector. In Cavan County Council, there is over 220 application forms sitting on shelves since as far back as 2008, so submitted over a 10-year period. And equally in Monaghan County Council, they have an 8-year backlog. It's an area that facilitates a lot of local authorities, and is an area that needs investment. And I honestly believe, Taoiseach, that Minister Ring has done a terrific job reintroducing this scheme, but he also needs the support of your Department of Transport. And I do think that Minister Ross should be playing a more active role and investing, along with the Department of Rural Affairs, in local authorities, or they will never, ever catch up on a 10-year backlog.
Thank you, Deputy Smith. Minister Ring.
As you know, as the Deputy knows, I reintroduced the LIS scheme, and it should be in another department, but I reintroduced it because there was a need for it. And to date, I have put in 48 million to the LIS scheme. But I want to say this. Very clearly. Everybody has to play a part in this, and I'm saying this to the local authorities and to the elected representatives. They're now doing their budgets. They have discretionary funding themselves, and instead of charging my department for administering the scheme, I'm calling on the local authorities and any other department that has money to put a bit of money into the LIS scheme. I agree with you thoroughly. It's a very important scheme. It's a scheme that we need more funding for. Next year again, I have in my budget another 10 million for LIS scheme. But last month, the figure, there was a number of counties that hadn't drawn down a penny in relation to the money I gave them last February. I'm hoping that they will complete these roads by the end of the year. But I gave them in February because they complained they were getting it too late. Then we gave them in February and they still hadn't drawn down the money. So everybody had to pay their part, but we do need more funding for that.
Thank you very much, Deputy Willie O'Dea, please.